Court orders forfeiture of $2 million asset tied to Emefiele. Fire ravages 7-story building in Lagos. Shops affected. Nigeria confirms 39 Mpox cases. NCDC issues health alert. And on the international scene, Kenya implements contingency plans amid aviation strike. Hello there and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. My name is Sagir O'Brien. And to details now, the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the interim forfeiture of a cash sum of $2.04 million linked to the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Justice Akintayo Aluko also ordered the interim forfeiture of 7 landed properties linked to the suspended CBN governor. Justice Aluko further ordered the interim forfeiture of 2 shares of Quinsdorf Global Fund Limited Trust. The judge made the interim forfeiture orders on Thursday after taking an application for the orders in a suit filed and moved by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Counsel, Senior Advocate of Nigeria Rotimi Oyedepo, who led Chinenye Okezie and Zinat Atikubala. Oyedepo also added that the orders sought are pursuant to Section 17 of the Advance Fee Fraud and Other Fraud-Related Offences Act No. 14, 2006, Section 44(2)b of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the court's inherent jurisdiction. The senior advocate also told the court that the motion ex parte is supported by an affidavit deposed to by one Idi Musa, an investigator attached to the Lagos office of the EFCC. And in a move to tackle flooding in the state, the Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources has commenced the demolition of structures built on the System 157 drainage channel along Orchid Road in the Etiosa area of the state. The ministry's commissioner, Tokunbo Wahab, revealed this in a video and pictures shared on X.com on Thursday. According to Wahab, this development comes after months of engagement with property owners whose buildings encroach on the vital drainage path. He added that despite the engagement and a proposed redesign plan, the property owners failed to comply with the agreed terms. In June, the ministry similarly removed structures obstructing the free flow of rainwater and causing flooding in Okezie Ubaja Street and other parts of Okota, Oshodi, Solo local government area. And several shops have been affected as fire ravaged a 7-story building in Lagos. The incident happened on Sani Adewale Street in Lagos Island, local government area of the state. Confirming the incident in a statement, the director of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Margaret Adesheye, said firefighters from the Ebute-Elefun, Sari, and Lekki 1 stations were dispatched after receiving a distress call and arrived at the scene by 5:33 a.m. on Friday morning. She said the fire, which started around 5:17 a.m., caused panic in the area as residents scrambled for safety. Emergency officials were on ground to extinguish the blaze, which had already destroyed items valued at millions of naira. As of press time, no casualty has been recorded. And another fire, this time in Kwara State, destroyed a 4-bedroom bungalow in Ilorin, the state capital, on Thursday. It was gathered that the incident occurred as a result of gas explosion caused by a housemaid. Spokesman of the Kwara State Fire Service, Hassan Adekunle, in a statement in Ilorin on Thursday, said the incident occurred at about 10:42 a.m. at number 6 phase 1 off Babasoja Street, Akerebiata, Ilorin East local government area of the state capital. He said the fire crew responded immediately, racing to the scene to prevent further destruction. Director of the State Fire Service, Prince Falade John Olumuyiwa, expressed sympathy to those affected and urged the public to adhere strictly to safety precautions. He emphasized the importance of striking matches before turning on gas appliances to prevent similar incidents in the future. Elsewhere, the Senate confronted one of its members, Senator Sumaila Kawu, on Thursday, disputing his claim that he receives 21 million naira monthly in salary and allowances. Senate spokesperson Yemi Adaramodu dismissed Kawu's statement as inaccurate. The debate over the substantial paychecks of National Assembly members resurfaced following remarks by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who over the weekend accused lawmakers of setting their own pay scales. Although the National Assembly rejected Obasanjo's claim, Kawu, a senator from the North, revealed in an interview with the BBC Hausa service on Wednesday that his monthly pay amounts to 21 million naira. However, Kawu clarified that his monthly salary is less than 1 million naira, and after deductions, his take-home pay is slightly over 600,000 naira. Despite this clarification, Senate spokesperson Adaramodu contradicted Kawu's claims in a statement on Thursday, adding further complexity to the ongoing debate. And the controversy surrounding the 573 billion naira disbursement to states have sparked significant debate between the federal government and various state governments in Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu had, during a national broadcast, said the funds were provided to states as a form of hardship relief. However, some states have contested this claim, stating that these funds were not direct grants but reimbursements from the World Bank for expenditures the state had already made under specific conditions related to the NG Cares program. Dorcas Yakubu completes the report.
On the 4th of August 2024, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a nationwide broadcast, stated that 573 billion naira funds were released to the 36 states of the Federation as grants to cushion the economic hardship in the country.
More than 570 billion has been released to the 36 states to expand livelihood support to their citizens, while 600,000 nano businesses have benefited from our nano grants. An additional 400,000 more nano businesses are expected to benefit.
This, however, has sparked reactions from Nigerians after some governors, including those of Oyo and Nasarawa states, countered the statement, stating that the 573 billion naira is not a direct grant from the federal government, but rather part of a World Bank loan under the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus NG Cares program. The statements have intensified the call for clearer communication from the federal government regarding financial disbursements and nature of such funds.
This huge sum of monies were given, and nobody informed Nigerians. These were not gifts given to the governors or their family members. This is public funds, and it is loan repayable, and it's going to be paid by the Nigerian people. And it was secretly disbursed. There was even no news about it until when Nigerians decided to hit the streets and demand accountability, that in a panic response, we now heard that, oh, we have given the governors 570 billion.
From the evidence available, it clearly shows that the federal government did not give the states money, in the sense that the federal government made it look like it was a grant from the federal government. These were refunds from, I think it's the United Nations, to the Nigerian government, of course, the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT, on their expenditures during the COVID.
This discrepancy has led to confusion and criticism, with some citizens questioning the transparency of the government's financial dealings.
There is need for transparency between the arms of government. Once such disbursement is made, there is need for publication, to state categorically this is what this money are meant for.
The Oyo State Governor is PDP. The Nasarawa State Governor is APC. So we don't even know who to believe anymore. But I think I choose to align myself with the governors. If you say you gave such amount of money, you provide the proof, the evidence. You cannot just come and tell Nigerians, I gave so amount of money without anything to show for. We have grown past that level.
The president, if he's sure what he's saying, should come out to refute it, and let's see evidence. Because we are living in an age where for whatever you say, it should be backed up by evidence.
The broader implications of this controversy touch on the challenges of managing public perception and the importance of clear communication in governance. With the country facing severe economic challenges, the need for accurate information has become more critical than ever. Dorcas Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Thursday said Nigeria had recorded a total of 39 confirmed cases of Mpox and 0 deaths across 33 states and the Federal Capital Territory since the beginning of 2024. The NCDC Director General Jide Idris, who disclosed this at a press conference in Abuja, also said the country had so far recorded a total of 5,951 suspected cases, while 176 deaths have been reported across 36 states and the FCT as of August 11, 2024. The Africa Center for Disease Control on Tuesday declared a public health emergency over the growing Mpox outbreak on the continent. The outbreak has swept through several African countries, particularly the Democratic Republic of Congo. There is a serious and growing outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo that has now expanded outside the country. A new viral strain, which first emerged in September 2023, has for the first time been detected outside the DRC. So far, about 2,863 confirmed Mpox cases and 517 deaths across 13 African countries have been reported in 2024 alone. You're watching the news update in Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Farmers in Adamawa count their losses due to limited rainfall. This and as well other stories after the break. Join us again. Thanks for staying with the news update on Trust Television. Here's a recap of our top stories again. Court orders forfeiture of $2 million assets tied to Emefiele. And fire ravages 7-story building in Lagos, shops affected. And to all the stories now, the National Association of Resident Doctors have urged the federal government and security agencies to immediately rescue their colleague, Ganiat Pokpoola, who has been missing for 7 months following her abduction in Kaduna. Pokpoola, a medical practitioner at the National Eye Care Kaduna Center, was kidnapped along with her husband and visiting nephew by suspected bandits on December 27, 2023 at the staff quarters. Trust TV's Bello Musa brings details.
With pens written on their faces, the doctors took to the street on a peaceful protest at the National Eye Care Center Kaduna and warning that if their colleague is not rescued promptly, they will be forced to initiate a nationwide industrial action. President of the National Eye Care Center Kaduna branch, Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, led the protest and called on security agencies to redouble their effort in securing the release of Dr. Popola and her nephew. He noted that Popola's husband had been released due to his deteriorating health.
Unfortunately, as we speak, it's been almost 8 months in few days. Only the husband has been released on the ground of deteriorating health condition after over 2 months of continuous negotiation by the family. Last we know, Dr. Popoala is alive, but in a very poor health condition. This should not be happening in a country where doctors are needed because of low doctor-to-patient ratio. If Dr. Popoala is not released unconditionally, the association cannot guarantee any industrial harmony.
So it's really a very painful issue for us. You know, hearing that they sleep under the rain, they shine, mosquito bites, they are fed once in 3 days, as if they are in a dungeon. It's really in your own country.
The acting medical director of the center, Aminatu Abdurrahman, lamented the ongoing exodus of medical professionals from Nigeria due to safety and welfare issues.
Life has become so expensive, you know, with the fuel subsidy gone, with the rise in electricity tariff, with the depreciation in the value of the naira. So any little money anybody is earning in whatever capacity can do much, much less. It's more glaring in the health sector because these are professionals that are very critical. But in every other sector, people who have skills that they can take to other countries and be paid for them, they are living in droves. Who will stay now and build this country when the best have left?
She urged security agencies and other stakeholders to intensify effort to rescue the abducted doctor, highlighting that such prolonged abductions are unacceptable in a country known for its military strength. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
After weeks of minimal rainfall across Adamawa State and other regions of Nigeria, crops are whittling under drought conditions. Climate experts are raising alarms, warning that without immediate action, human activities could trigger a devastating hunger crisis across the country. Trust TV's Gibson Swadigo reports from Yola.
It's August, a month typically marked by heavy rains. Yet, there's been a weeks-long dry spell. Hassan Adamu, a 63-year-old farmer from Yola South, is grappling with drought conditions that are threatening his livelihood. Having farmed for over 5 decades, Adamu is deeply concerned about this year's erratic rainfall, a worry shared by many farmers in the region.
But
this time last year, my rice farm was in good condition. But this year, the situation is bad.
This is the plea echoing from every farmer in the state and beyond, driving them to seek divine intervention in the face of worsening drought conditions.
In August, we usually have heavy downpours, but this time around it is a different story and we are not happy.
The impact of climate change driven by human activities is severely affecting crops and leaving farmers in a precarious situation. This crisis comes as inflation already stained many Nigerian families financially. Experts warn that the inconsistent rainfall could lead to a significant food shortage.
It's really unfortunate that we are in the present state of where we are. Of course, it's worrisome. And we've been trying to advocate for state actors, non-state actors, critical stakeholders to look at the question of climate change as a menace.
I'm not very sure if we can be able to have it going smoothly next year. Looking at what is happening this year, especially in the rain, okay, the heat, and also what is even happening to our animals. So definitely, we really have to start thinking outside the box.
As farmers like Adamu continue to seek divine intervention, experts urge both government and non-governmental organizations to step in and address this global issue.
We've turned ourselves from our traditional system. We have some crops that are actually adaptable to this relatively, but we've deviated from them, where our cropping system have concentrated largely on rice and maize.
Now that the rain is not feasible, now that what we used to have naturally coming down from heaven is no longer coming down the way we want it, we have to find an option. And what option do we need to do? That means we have to go back and draw a different plan, maybe integrate irrigation farming in our farming activities.
For Adamu and his peers, shifting rainfall patterns may necessitate finding new sources of livelihood. Gibson Soadgo, Trust TV News, Yola.
And in business, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wole Edun, says Nigeria's foreign reserves grew by $4 billion since January. Edun said this on Thursday in Lagos at an investor meeting for the issuance of $500 million federal government bond. He said that the aggregate federal government revenue had doubled. The minister said that the implementation of robust fiscal policies and reforms aimed at enhancing revenue collection efficiency across various sectors was responsible for the improvement. According to data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, the external reserves reached $35.05 billion as at July. The CBN had said it planned to double the diaspora remittance through a steady flow of foreign exchange into the country. According to Edun, the macroeconomic reforms of the President Bola Tinubu administration have begun yielding fruits. He said that targeted interventions were being implemented across the country. He said that small-scale businesses were getting funds at interest rates of 9% per annum. The minister said that the 70,000 naira minimum wage and wage adjustment for certain categories of government workers on the consolidated salary structure would soon be implemented. And to stories away from Nigeria now, the Kenya Airports Authority on Friday said that it had contingency measures in place to prevent a strike by the country's main aviation union that is set to begin on August 19 from disrupting airport operations. The Kenya Aviation Workers Union, which represents workers at airports, and the national carrier Kenya Airways said it would launch industrial action on Monday over a proposed deal with India's Adani Airports Holding to develop the country's biggest airport in the capital, Nairobi. The union has said it thinks the Adani deal will lead to job losses and bring in non-Kenyan workers, and referred to it in a strike notice as the intended sale of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Kenya's government has said the airport is not for sale and that no decision has been made on whether to proceed with what it called a proposed public-private partnership to upgrade the East African travel hub. And in sports, Kenyans on Thursday scorned and ridiculed a statue they said depicted Olympic star Faith Kipyegon in the world-renowned running hub of Eldoret as the nation feted its victorious Olympians. The amateurish statue of a female athlete wearing a top emblazoned with the Kenyan flag was hastily removed after residents complained, media reports said, but not before images of the effigy went viral. Social media users widely described it as a statue of Kipyegon, some mocking it as a disgrace to Kenya's athletics queen and a joke, while others called for the sculptor to be arrested or prosecuted. And that wraps up the news updates at this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms and also catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. My name is Sakir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.